In this video, we're going to break down the top mistakes I see in CrossFit classes in Olympic weightlifting, starting with the snatch, coming off the floor, turning the hands over slow, the hips moving slow, to your balance, to the bar path. We're going to do the same for the clean, and we're also going to break down the jerk of my top mistakes I see there. So for the snatch, biggest mistake I see, coming off the floor way too fast, the grip and rip. We're gonna talk about what you can do to fix that. Then we talk about that slow turnover in the hands where we get this thing where we're kind of not timing it right because we're moving too slow under the bar. Then we'll talk about that dreaded swoop where that bar's kicking out from the body, that bar path is not staying in nice and tight. So if your problem is coming way too fast off the floor, there's a couple really good fixes. The first one is to pause in a few different positions. So Colin's going to step up to the bar. He's going to assume his normal setup position. He's going to lift the bar 1 inch off the floor, pause for 2 seconds. Then he's going to go below the knees, pause for 2 seconds. He's going to go above the knees, pause for 2 seconds, and then snatch from here. The next movement will be what's called a tempo snatch. Here you're purposely going to go extra slow until you reach mid-thigh, and then you're going to give it a 3 count, and then he's going to finish the snatch. Normal setup. And he's going to come off the floor for 3, 2, 1, snatch. And that's how you fix going too fast off the floor. Okay, if your hips are moving too slow, you're coming up and you're delaying before you go down, the stand-up sit-down drill is perfect for a remedy for this. So what Colin's going to do, he's going to bend his knees a little bit. What he's going to do is he's going to stand up and then sit down as fast as he can. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and your feet might come off the floor a little bit. That's okay. Do that one more time. Bend your knees. Up, down. Okay? Now you're going to remedy that. Now you're going to move that into the hip snatch. So he's going to deadlift it. And now he's going to focus on standing up and sitting down as fast as he can. He's going to bend his knees, and he's going to stand up and sit down. And that's how you get those hips moving faster. So, if you got the wobbly feet, this is how you help to anchor them. You can start with a simple deadlift, but what you're going to do here is focus on your feet. Focus your heels and your big toe and little toe, everything driving into the floor. So watch Colin's feet here as he does. You can do this with a snatch or the clean, and he's going to slowly deadlift all the way to his hips, and his feet are anchoring the whole time. You're going to do it nice and slow to start. Come on down. Next movement will be to add a pull. But what you're going to do here is keep your feet flat the whole time. You're not going to come up on the balls of the feet. You're going to focus on your feet staying flat. So he's going to get down in that position just like a deadlift. He's going to anchor the feet. They're going to stay flat the whole time. Deadlift and pull, okay, and the feet stay as flat as possible. Then you do the same thing into a snatch, a flat foot snatch. Your feet aren't going to move here at all. Going to come down into that start position. His feet will stay 100% flat. He's going to focus on his feet staying flat the whole time, and he holds that catch. All right. You got slow hands, slow turnover on that snatch. Here's some good fixes for you. We're going to do a scarecrow first to make sure that bar's coming up, and he's not going to use his legs on this. It's called a tall snatch. Not going to use his legs. There's no momentum on this. He's actually just going up nice and slow with the arms. So he's going to do a scarecrow to prime the movement, right, and down. And then he's going to do that slow scarecrow, and once he reaches about here, he's going to make his hands turn over as fast as he can and drop as fast as he can. Good. Now, so you can do it just like that with a pause, and then you can get rid of the pause, but you start slow, slow, go. Yep. And then when you get that down, then you can throw your legs into it, so you can do a hip snatch from here right after you do that, focusing on driving straight up and then moving down lightning fast under the bar. And that's how you turn those hands over fast. For the clean, the elbows coming here and coming up, they're not whipping through fast and we're catching it in a bad position. If you have slow elbows on your clean and they're not getting through, these are great, great drills to do. So Colin's going to deadlift the bar. We're going to do what's called a scarecrow first, which is kind of like an upright row, just to kind of focus on getting the elbows to go up versus coming around. So he's going to pull straight up, arms only, and then down. The next one he's going to do, he's going to pull up like that, and he's going to drop and whip his elbows through as fast as he can. So his elbows whip through. Then from there, you can add the legs, and we'll dip. It'll dip, drive, straight up, and do a clean, focusing on fast elbows. Up and through. And then for the jerk, we're going to talk about getting that bar to move nice and straight up off the shoulders. We're going to work on getting that bar punching and getting that bar secured overhead in a really aggressive fashion versus kind of the dreaded bent elbow to straight elbow pressing kind of motion that we see. So if when you dip, your hips are shooting back and we need you to go more straight down, a perfect thing to work on is simply your dip. So what you can do for this is pretend like your back is against the wall. So as Colin goes to dip, if I put my hand here, I'm pushing into my hand slightly, he can dip straight down and push into my hand lightly and come up. Another thing you can think about during this, doing this is knees only. So he's only going to push his knees forward and down and up. From here, we can do, after doing a couple dips, then we can do our dip and do a jerk, focusing on staying back and jerk. From there, set it behind your head. We can do the same thing with it behind your head because if he pushes it forward, he's going to hit himself in the noggin, which is going to give him instant feedback, but he's going to do the same thing, pretending his back is against the wall, knees only, dip, drive, and jerk. Great. So if you have a hard time timing it or punching yourself under the bar, it's a great drill to do. It's called a forehead jerk. What Colin's going to do is he's going to push the bar to his forehead, and his legs are still straight. When I say 3, 2, 1, he's going to punch himself down under the bar. 3, 2, 1, punch, and he pushes himself down. And do that again, down to the forehead. 3, 2, 1, down. Notice how aggressively he's going down. Now bring it down to the shoulders. You can combine that, then go right into a jerk.